And Hey everybody, this is Kurt Orszak with the Bad Penny. If you're watching this video, you probably know that already. Um, and you might also know that you probably also know that I've been doing a series called Pet Sounds for gosh, it's been about 18 months now, in which I speak with musicians about their pets and um, the joy that it brings to their lives and the inspiration that it often brings to their music. And I'm delighted for the first video edition of this series to welcome Erich Specht from Puppets and his dog Grizz. And he's in Chicago and joining us on a very special day. This is No Kings 2. We were both at have you already been to the protest?
No, I'm hoping to make it to one after this. We'll see how it
Okay.
goes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. But it's really an honor to be able to speak with you today because I've been only doing like video pieces for the Bad Penny for the On Tyranny series that I'm doing, but this is the first one I'm doing with Pet Sounds. But it sounds like we're gonna maybe have some intersection between those two things about the
Yeah,
criminal.
and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I'm
Of
real
course.
happy to be here.
Yeah, yeah. And it's really great to be able to speak with you. When I saw the cover of your record, yeah, probably with that is Grizz on the cover, right?
No. So that song, the song probably was about my basset hound, Louie, who
Oh,
died about a year and a half ago. So I
oh,
was, devastated when he died. We bonded.
yeah,
You know, I mean, I loved all my dogs, of course, but that one we had a very special bond. So it kind of hit me hard, and I, figured do what songwriters do, and channel it in the right direction. So wrote something that was, intended to be not a sad song, but something that was more of a celebration of the time that we had together. Because
sure.
he just enriched my life. So
That's awesome.
it was
Well,
good to do a tribute to him.
yeah. Well, I really can't think of a more perfect person to um, have as the first um, interviewee for this first video installment of the series, and it's such a pleasure, and I love the record, um, and
Under together. It's the
there you
album.
go. Oh, cool. All right, you got everything armed and all that. Terrific, and it came out. What's the release again? When did it come
So
out?
it was released May 16th,
Okay, all right, cool.
just a few months
And
ago.
and you have a new video for. Is it a video for Probably that came out in?
Yeah, so yeah, we've released six videos from the album,
Mhm.
and the latest one is for Probably. It includes animation of me and Louie together, and showing like the things that would happen of when he was a basset hound, big 90 pound uh, stubborn basset hound, and hilarious. And so I would take him for a walk, and his idea of a walk was just laying down and taking a nap. So that's kind of like shown in the video where I get to the corner, I'm trying to turn the corner, he lays down, and then you notice that like time has passed, and the neighbor pulls up and gets out of his car, rubs his belly, which was regularly happening with him. Um, yeah, so I thought it turned out pretty cool. And then like, it kind of gets emotional when it you see the real footage of him, then just kind of hits home that there was
Yeah.
this special thing going on.
Yeah. So would you say that the album is really a tribute to him or
No, that just that one song.
just a song?
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So the album, is pretty varied, I would say. I don't think there's a, much of a theme. There might be a little bit of a theme of, working together and, that sort of, just, that we're stronger together is
Mhm.
kind of a a recurring theme on the album. But you know, it's kind of just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks sort of approach.
Cool. And and he wasn't the only dog in your life. You've also have Limo, Tommy Lee, and Louie.
Yeah, I've had a ton of dogs. Yeah, I've pretty much always had dogs. Um, and then, you know, for a while I had two, and as like one would die, I would get an old, you know, and they were always rescue dogs. That's pretty much what I believe in. Um,
Yeah.
but you know, so it was rewarding as I would get older and older dogs, you know, the ones that no one wanted to adopt. And you know, one of them was hilarious. So, you know, you know, as you can see, I'm partial to hounds, and you know, this is my fourth dachshund. And this is Grizz.
Adorable.
He's a 7-month-old puppy, and
So
yeah,
handsome.
and I, you know, I do pride myself on my dog names. Um, so one of them that I thought was pretty funny was My Pet Peeve. She was an awesome frisbee catcher.
Uh-huh.
There was Tommy Lee, which that wasn't his name when I got him. His
Okay.
name was Cashew when I got him, or no, Peanut. Um, but he was like this overloved long-haired dachshund that had a skid mark down his stomach where he would hit the ground because he was so fat. And like people didn't even know what if he was a dog or what, you know. So he was a success story though. He got put on a diet and you know lost a bunch of weight and uh, you know, but he was you know a hairy sex machine, so that's why the name Tommy. Even though I'm not like I've never been a Motley Crue guy, but the name kind of seemed appropriate. Uh,
Gotcha. Okay.
and then Louie, his name when I got him, you know, he was a rescue dog, and his name was already perfect. It was Louis Paw Strong,
Right.
and he had massive paws, almost like as big as my hands.
Oh,
Um,
okay. That explains it.
and there was another dachshund in there, Limousine. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
this is my fourth dachshund here.
Yeah. Wow. So adorable. We'll get to Grizz in a moment here, but first I wanted to ask you, like, is there a certain period of time that you allow yourself to kind of, um, I suppose, cope with the loss of a pet before you decide to take on another one, or does it is it sort of more like how just circumstances and how life presents itself that you bring another one in? Uh,
Yeah, I mean, typically, you know, what I found is that getting another one really helps you get over it, you
uh,
know?
okay.
Um, yeah, maybe it's not the healthiest way to get over the loss of somebody, but you know, it always worked for me. But this time, my work situation was unsure, and you know, I was kind of between jobs around the time that he died, and you know, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be working at home or what. So just needed to take a little time and make sure that it was the right time to get a dog.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I got him, and I have found that a puppy is not really the best thing for productivity music wise.
Right.
Yeah, like you know, he's just constantly eating everything. You know, I have not, I have a basement studio and I have not yet brought him down there just because there are so many things for him to chew on that I don't want him chewing on down
Sure.
there.
Right.
And like in my basement it's pretty well soundproofed from like room to room. There's, you know, a cool control room and studio and stuff.
Yeah.
But from upstairs to downstairs, the soundproofing is not so great at all. So if he just starts walking around, it'll ruin an acoustic guitar recording or something like that. You know, so I'm a little bit concerned about how the you know the progress on the next album is going to go with this guy.
Right. Right.
But we are just about started with the next album, though. It's going to be recording like final stuff in January, and
Awesome.
yeah, so pretty excited about that.
So beyond beyond probably, would you say that any other songs or albums have been inspired by your love for dogs or
Well, I mean, there are periodically there's like a lyric that kind of comes from something that you know my dogs have done. On the new album Tethered Together, there's a song called "This Whole Endeavor," and one of the verses talks about a stray dog lying in a dumpster fire of an apartment, beached and crowding me into a corner of the bed, which is very much Louie, just hogging the entire bed, having a king size bed, but where I have like this much of it to myself.
Yeah. Um, yeah, the whole endeavor, right? Stray dog lying in a dumpster fire of an apartment, beached and crowded. I mean, yeah, yeah. Um, uh, and then what about you mentioned in an email exchange that we had before, some songs that mentioned dogs, yeah, Martha, My Dear, Martha and Jet, and Me and My Dog by Waylon Jennings, My Tennessee Mountain Home by Dolly Parton. Did you cite those because those are songs that you really enjoy, or did they?
Well, the Paul McCartney ones are the ones that I most enjoy. I have tremendous respect for him, and he just seems, and especially after seeing Get Back, it's just like made me appreciate him even more. Just seeing how hardworking he was, and seeing songs that we grew up with getting created right before our eyes.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah,
so I don't know. It just that he is so has such a bond with two dogs, Jet and Martha. It just makes him even seem cooler to me.
yeah, yeah. So let's talk about Grizz. First of all, I got to ask that display you have in the back there. Did you make that for this interview, or did you?
Yeah, so Grizz was in his first wiener dog race not too long ago. Um,
No way.
yeah, I'll send you a video for it. It's
Oh,
hilarious.
oh God.
Um,
Yeah.
so that was kind of like the marketing campaign for his big wiener dog appearance.
A wiener dog race.
Yeah. And it was like a blazing hot day in Chicago, like 105 or something crazy. So,
Love it.
and then like when his heat was going off, he ran like the wrong way. He's very shy. He's a gets afraid of other people. He has a lot of, a strong connection to me, but if I'm away from him, he freaks out. So I was on the other end of the course. And rather than just go straight across where all these other dogs are going to be running, he tried to go around the whole course to get to me. So came in last, but but I know he's a champion.
Yeah, yeah. Are you going to give it another shot, do you think? Or
I'm hoping, it's I yeah, there's some like Oktoberfests going on, and
Mhm.
that's at a lot of Oktoberfests they have wiener dog races, so he might get another opportunity there.
Good, good. So tell me how how you came across him and how did he enter into your life?
Well, as I mentioned, I only do rescue dogs, so when I was looking for a dog this time around, I was looking at the, I was pretty much looking for a hound, either a basset hound or a dachshund. So I was looking at the rescue sites for those, and then I found on rescue.org is where I found him, and he actually came just from an individual. Um, as soon as I saw him, I knew he was the one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so just met him. I think he was adopted from somebody got him from a breeder and couldn't handle him pretty much. So
Okay. Okay.
so I got him from
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, that's what, myself as a dog caretaker, I suppose, as opposed to owner. You always you always tell people you had a connection. You knew it was the one. What was it specifically that you felt a bond with from
I kind of feel like when I see their picture, like Louie I saw in Pet Finder, and I could tell that there was a little bit of sass there. And just when I saw his picture, I kind of just fell for him.
yeah.
And having as many dachshunds as I have, as I've had, I kind of knew what I'm in for, which is not necessarily an easy route because, they're very opinionated animals, but um, I think I kind of like that little bit of fire that they have. And and they're clowns, so Uh,
can you elaborate on the opinionated? Uh,
well, I mean, a dachshund is going to do what a dachshund wants to do. If you try to tell the dachshund what to do, I think you're, you know, in for a world of hurt. Yeah.
all right.
Uh, um,
So if he
yeah,
were in your band, it's probably not ideal, an ideal bandmate, you know, situation.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then how did you come up with the name Grizz? Yeah.
So, well, yeah, I mean, I was looking for something that felt like it's a friend's name, just kind of a nickname sort of thing. Um, and I'm also a big 30 Rock fan, so grizzin.com on 30
Ah,
Rock is kind of where it came from, pretty much.
sure. Yeah. So over the years, have you kind of developed a regiment on how you train and housebreak your dogs? Have you gotten better at acclimating your rescue dogs to your house?
Well,
Yeah.
most of them were already housebroken by the time I got them, which
Mhm.
has been kind of nice. This one has been a little bit challenging because he was partially housebroken when I got him, but I just started like a crazy new job at the same time. So it's like all of a sudden there's just like chaos around all over the place. Um, but he's doing pretty good with it. We've had, every week we've had some challenging moments, and he's got me up almost every day at 3 or 4 in the morning to go outside, but
Yeah.
that won't last forever, I'm sure.
So is that still happening now?
It's still happening,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's better than the alternative, I suppose.
Right. And he's 7 months old, you said?
He's 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so what have you found most endearing about Grizz so far? Hey, Grizz. Oh my God,
Um,
what a beauty.
he
Love it.
I don't know. He's just a snuggler. He's a real sweet boy. So he came with this bag, like a travel bag that you could bring him on like a flight with. It's basically just a gym bag with that he could breathe out of. And he loves to just run around the house and jump into his bag. So, and he like also like he has this bed, that's pretty big, even though he sleeps on my bed, and there's ramps everywhere to get around. But lately he's been trying to drag his bed like out of the office where I'd be working and like pulling it so it's not going to fit through the doorway. So he's like forcing it through the doorway, trying like to drag his bed up the ramp that goes to my bed so he can have his bed on my bed. He's bringing it onto the couch and stuff too. Yeah, and for Halloween, I ordered his Halloween costume. He's going to be a Hamburglar,
Oh, is that
a
right?
custom made,
Oh,
handmade Hamburglar costume.
all right. Um, and what will that look like? Uh,
So it's got like a hat and a tie and some pants.
Okay.
Um, so kind of like a criminal. The pants are like striped kind of thing. And the hat and the tie almost make him look like a pimp kind of. It's a very 70s kind of McDonald's thing. So I think it's gonna be a good look, but it's gonna be you know get it on him just to get a picture taken, pretty much, because I'm sure it's not going to last
Yeah, I was gonna
forever.
say, like, have you tried to dress them up before? Or
No.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect it to be easy. I'm going to need some help with that.
Yeah. So you're at the 7 month mark. So have you started socializing? Started to get
He
acclimated with other dogs yet, or is that
he needs to. I need to start. He's going to be trained at some point. Um, but I'm thinking before I bring him in for the training, that same place offers some doggy daycare. So I'm kind of thinking that might be a good thing just to get him kind of used to other dogs.
sure, yeah. And I mean, given the fact that what you said before, your band and your work, how are you able to juggle all those different tasks?
Well, I mean, thankfully, I have, not much of a life outside of music and my dogs. So that's pretty much all I do is when I'm done working, I'm writing songs and working on recordings and stuff. And so far, he seems to have an appreciation for that. He where Louie would like interrupt me a lot. He'd like howl when I was trying to sing and stuff like that. Well,
Really?
Grizz seems to kind of just take it in. Um, so I think our working relationship is going to work out pretty well, I think.
Yeah, good. Did Louie or any of your past dogs make any appearances on your records? Or
Well, I mean, the probably video is Louis. Yeah, and that line that I mentioned in this whole endeavor, that's referring to Louis.
Mhm.
I was trying to think. I wouldn't be surprised if some of my earlier songs mention a dog too, but I wasn't able to think of those earlier.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so I mean, Grizz is. I've only had him a couple months now, so he hasn't worked his way into my songs yet, but I'm sure he will in some capacity.
I guess I was referring more to like actually hearing the dogs like bark or make noise.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I mean, probably the only thing is, maybe you would hear his nails as he's walking around upstairs, something that I didn't intend to keep
Right.
on. Yeah, I mean, it's crossed my mind to do that though. That would be kind of fun. Like I remember like an old Fleetwood Mac song used to have just in every chorus there's this bark in there that just kind
Yeah.
of became a little um just a little musical piece to
Right.
it. So it'd be kind of fun to have them in there somewhere.
Yeah. Um, so what is it that you find the most uh you know gratifying or just pacifying or enriching about having a dog? I mean, it sounds like an obvious question, probably an obvious answer, but I kind of curious to hear how you as a musician um your sense of the world and take your experiences with the world and turn them into art. What have dogs brought to your life, and how have they made you a better person?
Well, I mean, I think just like waking up in the morning with a silly, dog doing something funny, can kind of turn your day around and, start it off in the right way.
Yeah,
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 the comic relief I'm getting from him all the time, it just kind of lightens things up.
sure.
Um, yeah, um, that's about all I can really think about. I mean, it's just, he's always there, and there's no one that loves me as much as he does. So,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, that's just a feeling you can't get elsewhere, I think.
yeah. I totally relate to that. It's like, you know, we get our 10-minute warning. Just to wake up every morning and the first thing I see is Lily, come here, come over here, come on. I don't know if she's going to participate or not. She's kind of worn out a little bit today, just the first thing, just for her to be the first thing I see in the morning is just like such a delight and really establishes like or sets a tone for the day, and it's just a wonderful way to feel a connection with another creature.
And even like when you're coming home, you're just knowing that somebody is
Yeah,
like super excited to see you when you get home. I like
totally.
it.
So how do you juggle with your responsibilities as a musician and touring and playing shows and all that with having a dog? Do you have a certain caretaker or friend who watches Grizz or
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason I got a smaller dog this time around is so that my mom could kind of help when, if I'm traveling or, or recording or whatever I'm doing, just to, so she's my, I mean, she lives at a different place, but, she's the co-caretaker for him. And, uh, she's a big fan.
yeah? Have any of your I see those guitars you have in the background. Have any of your dogs ever causing destruction to your instrument?
Uh,
Or
Thankfully, nothing too serious, not a guitar.
mm,
Um, I mean, I've caught him like there's a mixing board back here. You can't see it, but there's like a rack of with a PA in it, and I've definitely caught him like chewing on some of the knobs. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm keeping everything a good distance away, and like when I'm playing my nice acoustic guitar, he definitely shows an interest in it, and that is like my pride and joy. So I don't let him anywhere near my acoustic guitar.
when you say shows an interest, like what I have a
Like licking it,
okay, all right.
which is only gonna, turn into biting on it eventually.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a guitar that I occasionally toy around with, but just the second I start playing it, Lily freaks out and barks. So I really can't make any progress in my aspiration to become a musician, which actually really doesn't exist anyway, but it's pretty good. So do you think Grizz will have another companion at some point in the near future? Or...
Maybe. I've usually had two, and I know that is good for the dogs. I don't know. I kind of think he might be enough for me. At least he's keeping me on my toes at the moment.
Yeah,
Once he's out of the puppy phase, maybe it'll be a different story, and but I think once he's out of this puppy phase, I'm gonna need like a moment of just to relax a little bit.
totally. What's the most amusing or funniest anecdote so far that you can think of?
Well, I mean, I think the funniest thing was the wiener dog race.
Yeah.
That whole experience was hilarious, and I had the sign with me. Um, so people definitely took an interest in that. Um,
Yeah. Has he slipped out of your purview yet? Have you had any freak out moments where you were worried he was going to run away or anything like that?
I kind of don't think he would run away from me because I think he digs me too much. Um, I mean, he would maybe run around the house for a minute or something like that and then come
Sure.
back. But I don't really have a feeling that he's a runner, you know.
Right.
Like I take him into town often just to kind of walk him around somewhere different. So I like drive into the downtown Palatine where I live, and as soon as I get out of the car, especially if there's like a bar where like people are making a lot of noise, he's ready to get right back into the car.
Oh,
So he's a bit of a crybaby. But,
yeah. Oh, Lily's going to make an appearance, I believe.
oh, awesome.
Lily, Lily, come up here, please. Come on, say hi. Oh, okay. All right. She's fighting me on it. You want to say? Oh, all right. Nils? All right. I was going to ask you though, in Chicago, like, what kind of destinations are there for you to bring Grizz? Or, I assume parks maybe, or
Yeah, but Chicago's a very dog-friendly city, so there's a lot of areas where, if they have like outdoor seating and stuff like that, where you can bring the dogs to the restaurants and stuff like that.
mm,
Um, yeah, dog parks, dog beaches, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's a nice park, not a dog specific park, but there's a place he likes to go around here.
yeah, yeah. Not to get too dark, but dogs are very sensitive creatures, obviously, and they can pick up on anxiety if somebody if they're especially if their caretaker is going through something. They can often sense that, and even they can even have a preternatural sort of ability to detect that something might be off or wrong if somebody's going through a trouble or strain. But have you noticed any behavioral changes with Grizz given what's unfolding in Chicago right now? Like, are you in a part of Chicago where the tumult is occurring, or
No, thankfully I'm not. I'm in the suburbs.
yeah,
The area I'm at, I don't know anybody that has seen ice near here.
yeah,
Um, it's certain they're really more in areas that are high Hispanic populations,
yeah.
those that kind of thing. Which actually my town does have a fairly high Hispanic population.
Mhm,
But thankfully I haven't seen that kind of thing.
mhm.
Yeah, I know today, the rallies are going on today, and there's, with the focus on Chicago, I think Chicago has responded, and there's, a ton of people out in Grant Park today and stuff, which is great to see.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I like where we're at, and I like the governor that we've got kind of taking care of us here.
yeah. Are you gonna bring Grizz with you, or it's probably too young, right? Or
Yeah, yeah. So after this call, I'm planning on going to a local rally, and yeah, I think I'm going to bring them along. Yeah, those
cool.
are dog friendly as far as the last one I was at. There were a lot of dogs there, so
Awesome. Yeah, I just brought Lily to the one out here in Boise, and was just adds more happiness and joy to the occasion.
yeah, totally.
Um,
And on that front, I'm just so your listeners are aware, from the last album, Allegory Gray, there was a song that I wrote about the spreading of disinformation that led to the storming of the Capitol. And
yes,
there's a real powerful video for it that shows like a
yes.
Russian troll farm manipulating the election, and just shows all the crazy stuff of you know uh, bleach treating COVID, and Pizzagate and all these crazy things, and showing how it kind of led to the storming of the Capitol, which um, is a video that certainly ruffled a lot of feathers. And I've had like people filing copyright claims on Facebook against it, even though it's bogus.
Unbelievable.
I've had people sending bots to that song on Spotify, resulting in Spotify like sending me less traffic. It's crazy. So I'm like suffering because I'm speaking my mind about something I care about.
Well, thank you for fighting the good fight, and I'll include as many assets as you send me in the post about this. About Grizz and this story. So thank you so much for chatting with me. And
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate getting to talk with
yeah,
you and meet and getting to know you better.
yeah, absolutely. And all the info will be in the rest of the post. So I'm gonna just close before we get cut off. So um,
Sounds good.
thanks so much, Eric.
Okay, have a good day.
Pleasure. Okay.